Hey guys, so today we are going to be learning how to write a summary using a specific strategy. Hopefully, whenever you're using the strategy, it does make it easier when you're writing your summary, so that way your information just gets plugged in faster. So before we start looking at the strategy, I'm going to explain what a summary is. So a text summary is a brief account of shortened version of the important parts of a text. The summary should only include the text's main idea and key details in your own words. Therefore, a summary will not include your opinion or other unimportant information. So again, the strategy that we are going to be using when writing a summary is called TAMIOO. And it is an acronym, so each letter does stand for something. So the T stands for text type. So whenever you're writing the summary, you'll start off with in the text, and then you're adding the text type, which is whether it's an article, a passage, a newspaper, an informational text, expository, whatever type of text it is, you're inserting that information there. Then the first A stands for author, and it's just the author's name, or if it doesn't have an author-specific name, then you can just put the author and then go on from there. The second A stands for action, and this explains or describes, it argues, it tells, it teaches. So just the action that the author is using. The M, of course, stands for main idea. So just the main idea of the text, you're stating it in that portion. The I stands for important or key details. And this is where you add, of course, important or key details that are supported from the main idea. And then the O stands for organization. So you're just following the organization of the text when writing your summary. And you're including relevant transition words whenever you're doing the organization's part of the strategy. Again, that is what TAMIOO stands for. So whenever we're using the strategy, all you're going to go back and do is fill in the information using your text. So in this next slide, I do have a summary here that is written, and it is for the story Against the Odds. It is the story that we just read. So hopefully it'll be easier for us to transition the information into the strategy. So I'm going to read it first fully, and then we'll go on from there, and I'll go back and show you how we're putting our strategy in here. So it says, in the informational essay Against the Odds, the author describes the actions of Chesley Sully Sullenberger, a veteran airline pilot whose skill saved many lives. In early 2009, he was flying a plane full of passengers out of New York City. Less than 2 minutes into this flight, a flock of geese collided with the plane. The impact disabled the plane's engines. Sully knew that the plane could not stay in the air long enough to get safely back to the airport. Instead, he landed the plane in the Hudson River. With quick thinking and skilled piloting, he saved all the passengers. So again, we are going to go back and look at using the strategy in here. So again, the first T was text type. So we're saying in the text, and then what kind of text it is. So here we put in the informational essay. So that's the kind of text it is. It's an informational essay. And then we go on to say Against the Odds. So that's the first part, the T. So then we'll say in the informational essay, the author, and it doesn't, right here we just put the author describes the actions. So we're just using the author. We're not putting his name. And then the action. So here he's describing the actions. He's actually painting the picture for you so you can visually see it when you're reading. So again, the author describes the actions of what happened that day with Sully, right? When he landed the plane in the river. The next that was actions. The next part is the main idea of the text. So the main idea of the whole text, remember again, was just telling us like how he saved lives because that the geese collided into the engines and it allowed the plane to kind of go crazy and he had to land in the river. So the portion of all of this part, So all of the rest of it, like the middle part, is just giving us, so probably like from here on, like all of this part is just giving us the main idea of what's happening, right? What happened in the story. And then the I, which is important or key details. So you're adding just important things you need from the main idea. And again, we're just adding that he couldn't stay in the air, so he did have to, instead of having to fly it into an actual airport, he did have to just land in the river. Here he landed on the plane in the Hudson River. And then the O organization, we're going to go back over here. So then for our last part, we just said, like, to sum it up, we said with quick thinking and skilled piloting, he saved all the passengers. So we're kind of just summing it up in all in our own words. Okay. Again, you can see all the parts that we used, just how you plugged in the information. So if you are using the strategy, and you'll start within the text, plug in your information, and then once you plug in whatever text type it is, then you'll go back and say the author, plug in the information, and then the actions, whatever the author's, if whether he's describing, arguing, telling, and then you'll go back to put in all the main idea. Okay. And most of the main idea is going to be the main thing that is creating your summary. And then after that, whenever you're just adding the details in the organization, that kind of just goes hand in hand with the main idea. So again, the strategy is called TAMIOO. So whenever you do read a text and we ask you to create a summary using that strategy, you'll just be able to go back to this slide and be able to plug in your information that way. Okay. See you later.